Another one. Another review. Lesson 203 is where you are today. Along with me, I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Today we are reviewing lesson 183 from not too long ago. I call upon God's name and on my own. So that is the review today. It says in the book, the name of God is my deliverance from every thought of evil and of sin, because it is my own as well as his. So that's our review. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. So I do remember thinking, like, okay, what's the name of God? When we did that lesson, it also brought up the fact that some people don't feel comfortable saying the word God for whatever reason, or that means they still have forgiveness work to do about that. But anyways, that's what we're reviewing. That's that. Quick and easy today, but remember to do the reminding and the reviewing and the forgiving and the calling upon God's naming all day. Jesus, for lesson 203, said, use whatever name for God that you like. Whatever name you are comfortable with. You could use God, Goddess, Source, Universal Mind, all that is, whatever speaks to your heart and aligns you with the feeling of love, which is God. Use that name. So it really doesn't matter. Words are just symbols of symbols. And even though you can do a lot of transformational work with words, they really are just symbols of symbols. It is the feeling behind the words that you use that makes the difference. Alignment to love is the most important part of using words. So go to the heart, go to your heart, and use the word for God that is your truth and home. And yes, if the word God evokes some feelings of unforgiveness and unlove and triggers you because of past trauma or events or associations, then do your forgiveness around the word God. I would say for me, like, definitely God gives off like more churchy vibes. So I'm it's not my favorite word for God. God is not my favorite word for God. I love source. I feel like the source of it all that is, that jives with me for sure. So anyways, reviews, I feel like this one's nice and easy to do. But start to realize that, this is a big one, because I call upon God's name and my own. So the name of God is your deliverance from every thought of evil and sin, because it is your own as well as his. So it's actually massive when you think about it. But, for a Sunday, fun day, you can just kind of ride through this one kind of easy. But I do think the big deal to do today is, if when you hear the word God, you kind of cringe a little bit or are not comfortable using it, kind of investigate why, what's around that, what's that all about, do your forgiveness work, and then don't care too much beyond that. If you got another word that you like better, use that word. It's the word. pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook, Lesson 203, Insights. Review. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I call upon God's name and on my own. I call upon God's name and on my own is another way of reminding me I am not a body. If my name is the same as God's name, then I must share the same characteristics as God. God is not a body, so I must not be a body. God is innocent and wholly loving, so I must be innocent and wholly loving. To call upon God's name is to remind me of my source and what I am. God has no fear, so fear must be alien to me as well. God does not condemn, and so I must not condemn. Any image I believe about myself that is different from this is a false image that limits me and blinds me to the truth about myself. To call upon God's name is to open my mind to receive the truth of what I am. This is what I truly desire at the core of my being. I truly want to remember what I am. This self God created is where I find comfort and peace. It is the part of me that remembers that God's name is my own, along with all my brothers. It is the part of me that sees only unity and therefore is perfectly safe always. Holy Spirit, help me see with the vision of myself. Help me see the loving innocence of my brother so I may recognize it in myself. Today I would receive your meaning for everything I look upon. Help me be the love I was created to be and see it everywhere. Help me answer every call for love with love and thereby teach myself that only love is real. God is universal. God is the truth of all that is real. When I forget God, I am forgetting my source, my true identity. When I forget my source, I am dreaming a dream of being separate from what I truly am. The way out of this is to return to letting God back into my awareness. The way out of this is to be willing to wake up from the dream of separation. Anything other than God is a dream. That is why remembering God is my deliverance. I call upon God's name and on my own helps me remember the truth. There is nothing other than God. That truth is my safety and my joy. Remembering this truth is my salvation. I would remind myself of that truth frequently today. I would let my mind be healed of belief that anything other than God is real. This is how I rest in God today. This is how I wake up from the dream. pathwaysoflight.org. Yeah, so God is all that is, and anything other than that, not real. So that's that. It's pretty simple, really. So try to be like God in the ways of being love and not condemning. So I don't know. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's really nothing to say. There's no argument. God is. End of story. God is all that is. But yeah, we do a lot of personifying of God and projecting onto God and turning all that into a whole lot of stuff. So anyways, I'm just here to guide myself through these reviews. And yeah, so that's that. Hey, Sadie, you have nothing to say? I have nothing to say. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. I call upon God's name and on my own. I was going to say on my gnome. The name of God is my deliverance. The name of God is my deliverance from every thought of evil and sin, because it is my own as well as his. So, if nothing else today, just keep on reiterating our main review theme. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And if you really have issues with the word God, you can say, as source created me, as the universal mind created me.